Ramadan is here. O believers, fasting is prescribed for you as it was for those before you. Is it just me, or does this season just feel like spiritually intense? Like there's a lot going on energetically. We just entered Ramadan. It's the Lunar New Year as well as Lent. I believe it's Lent as well. And it's also Black History Month. I wanted to use this video as like a reflection on just the month of Ramadan, the year of the fire horse. I think that this year particularly is charged with energy that we need to kind of reel in into different aspects of our lives. This is, I don't want to say my first Ramadan, because last Ramadan I was able to fast, but I feel like it wasn't I wasn't able to fast as I wanted to because I was breastfeeding, and I was very like anxious about my milk supply dipping or depriving my baby of milk due to being dehydrated. For those of you that don't know, during Ramadan, Muslims fast from sun up to sundown, and we usually have what we call suhoor before the sun rises. So suhoor is like a early breakfast. We eat that before the sun rises, and that will give us the energy to carry on throughout the day. So you do eat, you do drink, just at specific times and not during the day. But last Ramadan, I fasted selectively, selective days, because I was still breastfeeding and had anxiety around my milk supply dipping and being able to provide milk for my baby. I exclusively breastfed, so that was very important to me. However, this Ramadan is the first Ramadan in 3 years that I haven't been pregnant or breastfeeding, so I was really excited to take on the month of Ramadan. I was really just excited about fasting and just participating, fully immersing myself into Ramadan this season without having to worry about anything else for you. Ramadan is the month in which the Quran was revealed as a guide for humanity with clear proofs of guidance and the standard to distinguish between right this year, and wrong. Ramadan is hitting really differently because I have kids. I'm basically the matriarch of my family now. But I feel as though I carry my family on my back spiritually. And so that's why I feel so excited to participate and immerse myself into it, because I feel like, I don't know, a lot of us, we made it through certain situations, like being in the back of a random dude's car at 16, 17, 18 on our way to some random house party, only by the grace of the prayers of our ancestors, our mothers, their mothers, mothers. So I feel like it's my turn now to do the same for my daughters. Like, just pray and bless them, bless their lives. Do the same for my family. So I feel that responsibility. Younger me associated Ramadan and the hunger of fasting with simply being able to relate to those who didn't have their basic needs met, who didn't eat 3 meals a day to experience what they experience. And while that is a part of fasting, it's not the bigger picture. What fasting forces you to do is sit still. We don't just fast from food and water, we also fast from our worldly desires, things that feed our ego. And so it forces you to sit still without those things that are constantly stimulating your ego, and just be grateful of what you have, be grateful of what God has given you, and to be mindful too. So I feel like it's a very grounding practice that forces you to meditate, that forces you to reflect, and also for you to focus more on not what you're receiving, but what you're giving, your deeds. During this month, it is believed that your deeds are multiplied, your good deeds are multiplied. So we give a lot of charity. We pray more, non-obligatory prayers. Besides that, it's just about being mindful and just being grateful. So God intends ease for you, not hardship. For me, I feel like Ramadan serves as a recalibration, and many of you might be able to relate to that. There's nothing more satisfying than making it through the day, getting to iftar, breaking your fast, and realizing that you did something so selfless. Not for yourself, but for God and your creator and others. And if my creator is pleased with me, what else is more important? So yeah, I think this month is definitely going to be a time for reflection for me. As far as business goes, nothing much changes, I wouldn't say business as usual, but I try not to overwhelm myself. I try to complete tasks throughout the day when I can. And besides not trying to overwhelm myself, I think that, being a mom of two now, I really have to preserve my energy. So I have to preserve my energy for my children because I'm home with them and they need me on demand. So I have to preserve my energy for them. So I'm very mindful of not overloading myself with tasks. Yes. Let's get into the Lunar New Year and the year of the fire horse. What is that? What does that even mean? So it's the Chinese Lunar New Year, and this year is the year of the horse. The horse represents freedom, momentum, independence, bold action, and movement. What kind of movement? Forward movement. And the fire element represents passion, intensity, visibility, and transformation. Energetically, it's the year of the fire horse. Pair that with the discipline and reflective energy that we're finding in the month of Lent, month of Ramadan. I feel like this year has the capability to be transformational. And not just transformational, but I feel like there's going to be a shift. And how I'm taking that is like a shift forward for my family, for my business. And I want to say this point here. December 31st, 2025. I did not make any New Year's resolutions. I think I'm done with New Year's resolutions. Um, I read this book called Tiny Experiments, and it talks about treating your life like an experiment. Treating your creativity or your curiosity. Treating your curiosity as a force to drive these experiments, okay? Diving into what ignites your curiosity. So, in that book, it talks about how you should leave behind, I don't want to say leave behind, but linear goals always will force us to seek some sort of peak that we will define as success or what the out we it has predefined outcomes. And if we don't reach these predefined outcomes, it leads to sort of like a dissatisfaction with your life. And so the book is called Tiny Experiments. this it's not sponsored or anything in this video, but it just kind of taught me um, to live my life more spontaneously and forget about the predefined outcomes. Life is not linear. That is a fact. Life is not linear. There are ups, there are downs, there are peaks, there are valleys, and we have to learn to go with the flow, and we have to learn to also go where we are inspired. And so the point I'm trying to make here is that December 31st, I decided that I was done with New Year's resolutions. I was going to, in fact, do what the book prescribed, is make pacts with myself for each and everything I wanted to explore within my life. So writing, this channel, so many more other things within my business. And so the word that I picked for 2026 was audacity. I was going to move audaciously. And so I feel like it is not a random it's not a random fact that this is also the year of the fire horse. And so since my word of the year is audacity, I feel like this year I will be making more bold moves. I will really be stepping outside of my comfort zone. For example, one of my packs this year was to step outside of my comfort zone as far as dance. I do heels dance choreography, and I feel like I kind of teeter in the beginner intermediate level. But I want to see what it looks like when I step into more advanced dance classes and take on more advanced moves, more challenge my body a little bit more. I want to see how much better of a dancer I can get. And so that's the same analogy I'm taking across like family, business, any like personal endeavors that I want to like follow. That's the mindset. That's the mentality. I want to move audaciously. I want to have the audacity to ask for the things I feel like I deserve. Because up to this point in my life, I feel like I've been playing it shy, been playing it humble, and being a multifaceted woman who has many different interests. And honestly, as good as a lot of many different things, I feel like I need to start. I need to start making more bold moves. I feel like that's the only way that I'll be able to see how much better things can get. And I encourage you to to use this energy that is being thrown at us by the universe for the betterment of your situation, whatever situation that may be. To me, this year doesn't feel like hiding is an option. It's a year to trust your gut, trust that voice within you, and stop shrinking yourself. The things that you think there's always going to be someone out there more knowledgeable than you, probably more experienced than you in whatever you're trying to pursue. But they only got there because they took that extra step, they challenged themselves, they made bold moves, they took risks. And listen, failing is not a sign that you're bad at anything. I learned that in dance. Actually, I feel like that's why I dance. Dance teaches me a lot about, because I used to be the person in college, fear of failure was a real thing for me. And fear of failure meant, oh my God, I'm not gonna make it to graduation. I'm not gonna graduate on time. I had these predefined outcomes in my head of what my success looked like. Just because you didn't make it to the finish line at the same time as this other person doesn't mean that you're not gonna make it to the finish line. In dance, just because I didn't get this choreography step today doesn't mean that I won't master it the next 20 times that I practice it. And even the best dancer, before they mastered that choreography, they probably did that move like over 10 times. Okay? So if I have to leap or jump to the next step, then I'm gonna leap and I'm gonna jump the highest that I possibly can. And if I fall short, I'm gonna take a step back and look at what didn't work out and then fix it. And then I'm gonna leap and I'm gonna jump and try again. And so my takeaway here is that with discipline and determination and perseverance, nothing can become something. I should repeat that. I think that was a word. With discipline, determination, and perseverance, nothing can become something. And so I think this year is the year that we should fast from the things that drain us, that drain our souls, that drain our energy. Put our energy towards things that ignite our soul. Run towards the things that ignite your curiosity, your energy, that ignite your will to live and explore and live in joy. And the world is so mysterious. It's hard to believe that this cultural fusion is just at random. I feel like the universe has a way of speaking to us if we listen. A lot of times we don't listen. But I find it hard to believe that this is just a random occurrence. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you're feeling about the year of the fire horse. If you're participating in Ramadan, Lent, whatever. I'd love to hear your thoughts, but have the audacity and to see where life takes you. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please remember to like and subscribe. Until next time.